This is one of my conversations with the sun and the moon. Sun being right there, moon is right there. Cloud literally just covered it. So I'm sharing that conversation with you. Whoever got in, let me flip it around, flip it around. Peace, peace, love and light, greetings, and divine delight in all of its ways of magnetism and everything that's great. As I'm sitting out here with this full moon, it's not my usual sit spot, but as I came out, I saw the moon, and I don't think the camera can catch it. At least I'm looking at it right now. I don't think the camera can catch it. So let me see. The cloud just kind of passed over it. Let me see if I can. And it won't zoom in. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it did zoom in. Okay, where that cloud just passed over, let me see if I could point it out. It's a real sliver in the moon. Okay, I see it. I see it. I have to look to the left of that leaf. It's literally right by that leaf. So let me see if I could point it out. The tip of that leaf is literally pointing to the sliver of the moon, which is about right here. So I'm guessing the camera can't really pick it up from what I'm looking at, but it's like right here, a little curve. Those who have eyes to see, if you could squint real hard. I'm doing my best to zoom in on it, but it's not catching it. I can see it with my eyes, but with the camera lens, not so much. So it's not too far from the sun. So out here with conversations with the sun and the moon. And as I came out, I was going to go into my usual spot by the birds with my little willow tree, and just said, let me go live and share this message with you for whoever decides to come in. And I'm listening to the moon, like, what does she have to say? Usually when the moon in this phase, which is a waning phase after the full moon, we're just days before the new moon. So this full moon that was leading the way was really highlighting, it was the Taurus moon that was highlighting the change of perspectives and all that is happening with changing how we see things in the earth. And now we're coming into the new moon of Scorpio, deep, 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 the beginning of going really deep. It's like the end of the moon cycle, but it is the beginning. And what I was getting out of it as I was sitting here with the trees, with my 2D consciousness, was a lot of love. I'm looking at her right now. Like as I'm talking to you, I'm moon channeling right now. I had to sit here in between the moon and the sun. I'm literally facing both of them. In a south, I usually put the moon on my right hand. So in a southwest direction, and I've mentioned that message before, it's that we're going south. Not that we're going south, but look south, as in look to the past. The south is the past. Look to the past, which means look deep within the earth. Look into your earth. The earth chakra is deep, deep, deep root chakra. So looking deep within the earth, finding your connections deep within the earth. Ancestral connections. The ancestors are really rising and speaking through the energies that are moving through the earth right now in love. Like I got a lot of love as I was sitting here. I'm literally sitting here like I'm on a throne, right? Like I got my feet, I got my hands, propped up on this throne, and I got my feet on coconuts. Like I've never grounded like this before. Like each foot is on a coconut. That's just the way it came to me. There was one coconut at my right and something said, grab the other one. So I'm grounding with coconuts at my feet, right? Like, I'm not lying. I'm going to just show it to y'all. This is the meds. Coconuts at my feet. Coconuts on the feet. So, and the moon right there, like the moon is like here at my third eye. So as I sit here, the message is love, heartbeat. I'm going to just take a deep breath and channel back in, because a lot of the information was just smooth. It was love. The heartbeat. I was hearing this from in a meditation before I even came outside. It's still echoing inside of me now, so I'm sharing that with you. Meditation. Meditation. In the meditation, that your heartbeat is love. Your heartbeat is the rhythm of love. Thanks, Spirit. It was like, no, get it right. Your heartbeat is a rhythm of love. Your heartbeat is the rhythm of this earth. The earth is the heart. So as the heart beats, so does the earth, the pulsations of the earth. They are interconnected. We are interconnected. It's almost like I'm seeing an umbilical cord. Like there's an umbilical cord, and our umbilical cord is that heartbeat, the what they call the Schumann resonance, the truth resonance, the earth resonance. The rhythm of the earth is the rhythm of your heart, and therein lies love. In between the two is love. In the midst of infinite existence, where duality meets in the center of infinite existence, is love. That is the 0 point that you always want to have, is the center of love. And as I look at the moon, that's just the beams that I'm getting from it is love. Love yourself, love your neighbor. And I'm saying that as I'm hearing a loud, noisy neighbor and sitting in the love of it, the love of the disturbance. Love thyself, just as you love yourself and can love yourself through all mistakes, for those who can allow yourself to forgive yourself, so too can you love your neighbor through all their mistakes, for they know not what they do. Loving the earth in its magnetism, in its greatness, in the intrinsic design that we are in. Loving, returning to the love of 2D consciousness as I am doing, connecting with the earth, the sky, the ethers, the elements of the earth. And the earth is calling for us to recognize, to re-know, to know again the remembrance of her abundance that has always been afforded to us. And as I was listening, the one thing when I sit with conversations with the sun and the moon, this is a conversation not just with the sun and the moon outside of you, but within. That's the will and understanding. The sun and the moon is your consciousness. The moon represents the feminine aspect of subconscious mind, and the sun represents the masculine energy of the conscious phase of mind, the ego's will to do. Right? And the feminine is the intuition, the understanding. So right now, the moon is ahead and the sun is behind. It's always like this. If you start to pay attention with the moon phases, it's always like this. After the full moon, the moon leads the day. Right now, it is leading the day, as in it is in the west and the sun is behind it to the east. So what is that saying? Lead with understanding. During this moon phase, the waning moon phase is very feminine. It's receptive energy. It is allowing yourself to receive instructions, not being in action. This is not the time for action. It is a time for receptivity. It is time for listening and leaning into instructions. What is the understandings that you have gained from the full moon? What has that said to you? Right? What have you gained from the full moon? What has the full moon in Taurus reflected for you? Have you recognized places in the earth? This is one of our last opportunities, so to speak, before we're going to get some time to work with Taurus some more as Chiron enters into Taurus. But this is one of those last calls, especially particularly within this 6-month window, between within the from the eclipse to the next eclipse, that 6 month window. This is one of the last opportunities, getting the full moon reflection of Taurus that is highlighting and echoing to us from when the North Node was in Taurus, that was helping us to release old holds, old narratives of how we believe things should be in the earth, how we view, how we value certain things through our perspective of what values are in the earth, material things, possessions, relationships, finances. Really, and I'm going to give you the message that I got about finances. Greetings. I'm finally looking down at that. I'm going to give you what I got about finances, but it's recognizing, and there's the butterfly of transformation. The transformation is on a fence. How many are in the middle of transformation, but it's just pitched on the fence? It's just on the fence, and the transformation is being called now to go over the fence, to go into full force of transformation. We're being called into the death to rebirth transformation, which is the new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is death to rebirth transformation. It's inviting you now to go real deep. So that full moon should have brought up some things in the fullness of it. The cosmic spotlight that highlights our dysfunctions. Where were we seeing misappropriations of how we value things in the earth? Have you gathered that? Have you gained an understanding of that? And with that, are you able to now take that deep? Are you able to go deep? Ashe? And as I'm looking at the moon, what is it asking us to go deep in? As I was looking at it earlier, remembering the love, feeling the heartbeat, feeling the rhythm of the earth as it engages with the rhythm of my heart, to amplify the love frequency, to remember that we are all here in love, to be embedded in love, in the love that lights the truth. So we're not to be taken off. I felt a bounce back even, because last week, the past couple days, the past week has been hectic. So this reminder of love, this abundance, this beauty, this Venus beauty. And I do believe Venus is entering Scorpio as well. So deep transformation in love. This beauty, are you able to see the beauty that lies within the earth, in the abundance of the earth? And be able to see that everything that you have is there, everything you need is there, and that coming out of last week was things that were happening that were bringing some of us into low densities, into even wanting to be pulled in to helping others out of their low densities, and then it becomes a weight on you and a weight on your soul. And this was a release. This love reminder was to remind us that we don't need to be called in by the cries, as we're hearing that the neighbor, as I said, it's so much disturbance all around us, right? Just as you hear that chaos, some of the people, we're hearing them bawl out, cry out like that. And it's for us to not be pulled in to that, but to listen to the rhythm of the earth. We're going to hear the chaos. We're going to hear the cries. And sometimes it tugs on our heart as we are humans. It's a part of humanitarianism, but we have to lift higher. We have to call upon our wisdom. We have to walk with our wisdom. And the wisdom says, recognize the difference between the two. The wisdom says, you're in this earth. You're in this place of duality, but find the harmony of duality. And the harmony of duality is also having the wisdom to see the difference between the two. Recognize those who cannot access the vibrations of harmony, and just send them love. Know that they are fine right where they are. And you draw all of your energy back into the earth. Ground as much as you can. Get as much abundance as you can within the earth. Feel the rhythm of the love as the heart that beats within the earth. Let it beat with your heart. And imagine this energy. Imagine this umbilical cord, if you will, connecting to you and feeding you, giving you all the nutrients that you need in the earth. And the wind just picked up as I said that. Deep breath. The wisdom in the wind says she wants you to feel the wisdom, the knowledge that is there, the Christ consciousness knowledge that is there, wants you to adhere to that knowledge through the wisdom of the Sophia energy. So a lot of us may hear the cries, we may hear the chaos, Do not allow your heartstrings to be pulled in, but stand firm on truth principles. Stand firm on the heartbeat, on the transformation of love. Stand firm in that. And as we return to the abundance, no matter how much we hear, and you hear it's kicking up. So no matter how much, you're going to always stand on the firm of truth. Stand on the heart of earth. Return to 2D consciousness so that it breathes life into your 3D awareness that is outside of the shadows. Because the shadows are lurking in the darkness, in the chaos, but you are the light warriors. You are those who are here to be a beacon of light, are here to be that light, are here to stabilize the light frequencies. And I'm being reminded of that. And as I am, so too do I share with you to remember. Being a part of the remembering is to say to yourself, I remember. I remember what is important. I remember who I am. I remember that the abundance is in the earth, first and foremost. So there is nothing in 3D awareness that is going to take me outside of that with images of fear and lack and limitation that are tethered to greed. For those who are not connected in their earth chakras, you're going to be inclined to greed in the disguise of need. It's going to come across as I need this, but because of the lack of awareness and because of the lack of the connection with your earth chakra, that is a reminder that you are divine. Your divinity is in the earth and given to you in the earth. You're a seed of pure potentiality, but do you remember that? Do you remember that you have everything you need? Blessings, peace, love, and light. Good to see you here. My eyes were closed, so now I'm opening it. Peace, love, and light. Welcome all those who are coming through and getting this message as it comes through. And remembering, and it's like even as I'm getting this message, I'm feeling the challenge. It's to remind us that yes, as we stand in the light, as we connect with the light, we're going to feel that confusion and that chaos around us. It wants to distract. That other energy, remember that we are here in our wisdom to know the difference, and the other energy wants to distract you. The more you beam your light, for those of you who may be asking why me or why this right now, the more that you are beaming your light is the more that it's going to want to put up a fight. Because your light dispels the lies. It dispels the darkness. It exposes the darkness and the shadows that are telling lies in the dark. And it will operate through any around you who are in their unhealed wounds. And that's what that is. And that's why we have to have compassion, because that chaos are those who are wrapped in their wounds and they know it not. So the only thing we can do is hold compassion, not let it distract you, not let it tear you out of your framework, your frame, your boundaries, right? Your boundaries that are to be honesty, walls of honesty, not walls to block people out, but these corridors, not corridors, but I want to say, I guess walls is the best word, but your foundation should be trust, right? And as I say that to you, I'm getting the image of the house, and we did this project in the root chakra workshop, so I'm sharing that with you. I gave them 4 materials of the house and 4 labels. And so the foundation should be trust. That's the label, trust. There's trust, there's honesty, there's caring, and there's respect. How will you build your house, aka your consciousness? And now the sun is coming in, feeling it on my third eye. As I'm facing that moon, I can feel the engagement of the will and understanding. And so how are you going to build your house? And the foundation, I must say, people, has to be with trust. Trust is the foundation. The material that you're going to use for that part of the house is trust. And so the walls, this is what brings me to that. The walls, the boundaries, the walls represent the boundaries, should be honesty. Your boundaries should be integrity and honesty. A lot of people are without walls. Ooh, that just hit differently right now because it just showed me even the victims in Jamaica. A lot of people are without walls, without boundaries. They're being reminded to have boundaries. Either they have been without boundaries, either they have been out of integrity, out of authenticity, or they're being reminded to have strong boundaries of integrity, to have strong walls of integrity. Right? And your covering is care. A lot are without covering right now. A lot are without care and compassion. So a lot of roofs may have been blown off without covering. You haven't been in true caring or covering. Or now the energies are reminding you to have better covering. Build your compassion. And respect is the doorway. Nothing gets through your consciousness without respect. Let nothing come into your consciousness without respect. And you have to walk with these are 4 core principles of your consciousness, your house. Foundation has to be trust. And why I'm bringing us back to that, because I've been given this phrase, in gratitude we trust. With everything that I'm doing, with even raising the funds for those in Jamaica, for those that I am being guided to help, because as I said, not all the cries for help are the ones that you can help. Some of it you just have to listen and know that that chaos is for them. It may seem cold, but it is the truth. And it is the truth. Ashe? If we are not confident in self, we see defeat, yes. If we're not confident, we're going to see defeat. And that's what the love was bringing back and restoring. That confidence in self. You know the instructions that you're given. And I'm saying this to you as it was coming to me as I was looking at the moon. I'm getting the understanding is hitting, and the intuition followed and said, hey, you know the instructions that you're getting. Let not the cries of chaos deter you or distract you from the forward movement of the love frequency, from being tuned into the frequencies. Let it not deter you from the instructions, the divine ideas and the divine instructions, for they are coming. The new moon of manifestations, as those of you who've been in the workshops know, that we manifest with the new moon, meaning not just things. We bring in the energy of manifestation. We activate our pure potentiality of seeds, the seeds that we are. We go back into the remembering of what we are here to do. And through this receptive phase of the waning moon, we open our crowns, because we start with our crowns, which is tomorrow, 3 days before the new moon. And we ask for the divine idea to pour in what it is we need to do. So following the instructions, what are the instructions you have been getting from that full moon into now? And I did have some important cards that I pulled with that. I know I owe a video for that. So much was going on this week. I'm still going to do that video probably right after this and post it later. All right. A lot of people are without honesty, Ashe. A lot of people are without honesty, and so they are without walls. No boundaries. Some have lost their very foundations. They're being called, the earth is speaking to us if we open our ears, and it's saying, build your foundation on trust. And that is one of the hardest things that I'm finding as I'm helping with what's going on with Jamaica, the ones that I reach out to, they find it very hard to build a foundation on trust because they have been operating without walls for far too long. They have been operating without integrity. So trust is gone from them. The foundations are rock. And so the earth is asking them, and it's not all of them. There are ones that are there that are, if they allow themselves to see it, and those of us who can witness it and use it as a testimony, let it be a reflection of truth within you. Don't just look at what's happening on the outside as if it does not apply to you as well, because we are all one. One mind, one heart, one consciousness. So what affects one affects us all. What is it to thee? What is it to we? So we're being called to look at this and not go into this. This was an important part of the information. Hey, B. It's that Oshun energy. Beauty. Honey. You got to put some honey on it. That's what I'm hearing. Put some honey on it. Some of us want to go about things in the raw way, and I get it because I feel it. But reminded, sweet lips, as someone said to me before in Jamaica, sweet lips, or really to my aunt, but I love those words. Meaning put the teaspoon of honey on it first. Go into the heart and let it be sweet. You catch more with sweetness, right? And so what I want to share with you with that, and I'm going to keep talking about this as it was shown to me, trust. So I'm going off of the foundation of trust. Remember, we're talking about Taurus, change perspective. Some of you may be saying, but how? How do we change perspectives? Because this is what the world is presented to us. And now I hear Timon and Pumbaa. When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world. The world has presented it to you, you present it to the world. Flip the script. So you now present what is valuable to you. And we have the power to do so. And how was this shown to me? I'm going to give this to you in the message that it was given to me in. As I sat here, stared at the moon, what I heard was, in returning back to the earth, that once upon a time, you did without. Money meant nothing, right? See, the chaos doesn't like that. Do you hear how that just ugly? They don't like it. This is stuff they don't want said. Once upon a time, money was nothing. It couldn't help you. We didn't need money. Right? And this was in our ancient ancestors. Once upon a time, way back when money didn't serve you, this is how it came. Okay, it's coming back to me now. Thank you. Remember that. It said money can't help you. Remember that. Money couldn't help you. You didn't need money. There it is. You didn't need money. Remember that. And we not only survived, but we thrived as a people, as a nation, and as a great civilization. And I'm talking way from ancient times. And as that was shown, as that was said and shown, there's so many distractions right now. I call a cease and desist to all distractions right now, to stop. It's such a fight to get out the most important messages. And I'm going to say it again as I regroup and stand firm. We did not need money. Money wasn't necessary and wasn't needed. Remember that. And not only did our people survive, but they thrived as great people, as a people, as a nation, and as a great civilization. Saying that to say this now with this disaster, anywhere it is, anywhere where there was a great disaster, a great hit, not just Jamaica, but this is what was highlighted to me. Because as it was hit in Jamaica, there were people that were saying money couldn't do anything for them. They didn't even want money. They were brought to such a place that they didn't even want money because there was no need for money. This is what the earth is bringing you to the remembrance of. So just as I said before, you didn't need it then. Remember that. It's asking those who can hear this, that in that moment when things were very desolate, you didn't need money. Money couldn't help. Remember that. Remember that so that you can come out of that prison, so that you can remember the liberation. Because when you remember that, you see how liberated you truly are. You didn't need money because you realized the abundance, the need was somewhere else, and the abundance was in the earth. The abundance was in the earth. So I say that to make that connection and remind us. This is very important for those who may be wanting to understand, how do we break old perspectives of how we see things in the material world, in the material earth? How do we break old perspectives of how we see things in the earth? This is such a difficult message, because I can feel the fight. I can feel that opposition energy, that this is what, because these are the things that will set the captives free. It is this awareness and this remembrance that will set your minds free. The love frequency has nothing to do with the frequency or the currency of money. When you realize that there is no need for money, but the abundance is recognizing that the need, the true need, is in the way we work the earth. It is in the service that we have for one another, those who can service one another, those who have a skill, those who have ingenuity, a connection to the divine netter, the Medu netter, the divine nature, the codes that are embedded in nature. Do you get those codes? Are you connected? Do you allow yourself, once you have been plugged out, whether intentionally or not? And when a devastation hits, people are plugged out unnaturally. They're plugged out unwillingly. Let me say this, as the cleaning crew does their work. They're plugged out, and that's what they're showing me now. While you're cleaning, while you're picking up the pieces, are you making and taking the time to connect to 2D consciousness? Because she has the answers. The answers are there. The abundance is in the earth. The answers are there. I don't know who this is for, but yet I do. It's for those who are willing to listen. It's for those who are willing to break free, to have a true liberation. And it is when in the remembering that you remember that money is not needed. Money can't help you when you need something within the earth, when you need the true abundance, when you need the nutrients within the earth. You have to alchemize and become the fertilizer in the earth. We make up money out of fear. Yes. They make up money out of fear. And there is a true energy. There is a true currency of energy. But your true currency is being pimped and being put into a paper. Let me paint this picture, this paper, this promissory note. This almighty dollar. And I'm going to keep talking about this because I feel like it's something that has to be talked about for us to break the illusions. I've been talking about breaking this illusion for the past maybe 2 or 3 years. And even right now, it's coming to a different level of reality. It's hitting in a different way as you grasp the truth in that reality even more. Because if we've been doing this all our lives, it doesn't just go away because we acknowledge it once or twice or 3 times. It has to be a practical application. It has to be something that you are now ready to live without in order to live in the abundance of the earth. It's one thing to say that is an illusion. It is another thing to live in accordance with the reality and the awareness of how it is an illusion. Can you see it in real time, true time reality? And those who are hit with the devastation have experienced it because they saw where money didn't matter. When they looked around, it wasn't money. It was water. It was food. It was shelter. And in that moment, money could not give it to you. But we have been brought to a state where people think they can't survive without it. But when you are brought to the lowest, when you are brought to that devastation, you realize that money is not going to buy that. What is going to get you by is how you live well with one another. How each one reaches one can teach one. How ingenuity is going to come forth. You're going to find what is around you, if there is any. In places where there's complete devastation and there's no food on the ground, others will come to your aid. And that is trusting the earth. That is trusting the goodness in the earth. That is trusting the roots that run underneath us to connect to those other trees. I mean us as a tree. And there are roots within us. There are invisible roots that we can't see. And the goodness that you walk in the earth is having a communication with the goodness of someone who is on the other side, walking with that goodness. And when you trust the earth, your needs will be met. It will be brought to you. And you will see how it is done without money. That is their testimony for those who were able to experience, and for those of us who can witness that experience, that can bear witness to that truth, and those of you who can bear witness to the truth that I'm bearing witness to with you. This is how you're going to break free out of the constructs of money. How can we live in right standing with the earth? That's why the earth is calling us in. That's why the ancestors are leading us to important ley lines in the earth. Some of you are being called to move to particular parts in the earth. All right, the Jamaican people and others are really getting hit in the root chakra. Yes, and a lot of us, if we're paying attention to bear witness to that, how can you take the hit in your root chakra and break the blocks of fear? They are being forced to face their fears and have no fear. For those who can, some are barreling down in the chaos. Some are doubling down in the chaos. But for those who have, where there's a will, there's a way. So for those who can find the will of the path of the divine, they are finding a way. For those who have purity in their hearts, for those who have integrity, they're being brought to the will of building a new foundation, a true foundation in trust. In gratitude we trust, because gratitude is what is going to stabilize the chaos. So for those who you are seeing that are living in a spirit of gratitude, I witnessed a woman singing in the river while washing her clothes in the river after the devastation hit. Most likely she is without home, but she is in the river smiling and singing while washing her clothes, while washing her raiments. Your clothes represent your raiments. It is what you adorn yourself with. It is what you are adorning your character with. She is washing them while singing in the river. And the song that she was singing was even touching to the heart. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Down by the riverside, I'm gonna lay down my burdens. And it touched me because when I was in my retreat in Jamaica, that is what we sang at the retreat. And so that is the heart. She does I don't think she know the power, and she had such a beautiful voice. Not the voice you just heard me right now. Her voice was beautiful. By the river singing. That is the energy that we need to see the spark of life, to see that there is trust, to see that the heart is beating with the rhythm of love. Boom, 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 boom. And there's a lot of us that are going to be able to connect to that. And it was a reminder to me that that is who I'm going to help as I am called to go into that land. When I do go, I'm still listening to spirit, and I'm still waiting on donations for those who are willing to give. You can still donate, because when I give, the divine is showing me where to go and who to go to. I may give food to those who are in the path, who are along the path, but I'm being guided to go directly to those like that woman who was singing at the river, to those who picked up their hands and tilled the soil, who are listening to the earth, and that in their cleaning, recognizing that there's trust in the earth. We have to build on trust. Something that a lot of the Jamaican people are missing and lacking: trust and honesty and care. Those four main things, and respect. So if you don't have those four core qualities, what do you have to build with? How are you going to build in strength? Not as they want to put on the dollar, in God we trust. And their God is a false God of illusions. I'm talking about holding true to gratitude. Because the great order of divinity is gratitude. Because it is love, and gratitude is love. So we want to be in gratitude, because we want to hold the vibration of giving it forward. Giving love forward is going to be giving gratitude forward. And that's what I am grounded in. Ooh, beautiful little bird. Just flew by. Spiritual thoughts just flew through. So I'm inviting you on this journey, for those who are willing to trod with me. Give into the gratitude and trust. In gratitude we trust will be the donations. Bill for bill is how I started it, because I'm also going to be speaking to those. I realize I'm going to have to go there, because speaking to them, they're not getting it. They're so lost. And then the spirit is telling me, move on, go to the next one. But I'm going to have to go there and really travel the land and go to particular spots as spirit guides me to find those who are willing to build a foundation in trust. And those will be the ones that we are able to pour into. Because see, with wisdom, you have to be careful of who you give to. Everybody can't receive it. It's not that they don't deserve it, but everybody can't receive it. You hear that crying? That's all they're going to do, is continue to cry in chaos, continue to weep and moan in chaos, never seeing the gratitude, never alchemizing the frequencies and being a part of the building of the light. The temples are rising. Alchemic rising temples. Art. This is the art. Kundalini rising. Raising your frequencies. I was so hard, but I know it was it was so hard, but I know it was worth it. Ashe. Ashe. It is very hard. It's hard on those who are in it. It's hard on those of us who are watching it, who are connected to it. As I said, it's ancestral for me. It raises the blood. It boils the blood, as I said, because there's a connection there. And I'm learning through that. It is really challenging in this month of retrograde. Ooh, it's such a retrograde. This Scorpio month, I'm really seeing how, because I had to ask myself, while I'm doing this and working on the workshop, and the sacral workshop is coming up. We just did the root, and you hear what we got out of the root. So imagine what we're going to get out of the sacral. But as I'm doing all this, I'm asking spirit, like, why this Jamaica thing had to happen right now? Because it just seemed to drop right in the middle of everything and in the way, but for good reason. For good reason, because it's time for good treason. That's what I'm hearing. For good reason, because my people, it is time for good treason. And I'm not talking about treason like everybody is scared, like, oh, treason. Treason against who? The oppressors? The colonizers? See, these are the concepts that we got to break free from. When you're connected to the earth, you owe nobody nothing. There is no treason in the earth. When you go against their constructs in order to have an allegiance with divine nature, to have an allegiance with the great order of divinity that calls you into spiritual principles and out of man's dysfunctions and destructions, there can be no treason in that. That comes from an authority, a false authority that wants to still seek to hold control. That comes from an entity, force of energy that is dark over the lands. The dark matter chatter that is breaking up the more our light demands. Right? I think it says Harlem. I think that's what it says. The Netherlands. Ashe, Ashe. Those who have eyes to see will see it and see the truth. The absence of money and the ley lines, yes, have been a theme in my life for months. Ashe. Because you're seeing it. The absence of money has been coming up more and more for me. Ooh, there's my bird, Blue Jay. And I've been, like I said, I've been working on this, fam, my soul family. But we have to amplify it to the next level because it creeps up in our everyday work. Because at the same time, to move around, to get things done, we still have to use their money system. And that's where it always draws us back in. And it makes you feel like, what is this? Because you know it's not real. You know it is fake. We know. Yet to do things, we're being drawn in to use this. And it's going to be that way until enough of us form enough light colonies and collaborate with service for service without them. Until enough of us do this, we're going to always be drawn back into using the monetary system that they have put up. The good thing is we're not prisoners of it right now. We're not prisoners of it. We're more in a liberated standpoint. Yet we still have to manipulate the energies. And I don't mean bad manipulation. I mean like manipulatives. We still have to use their manipulatives, which is the money. The money is their manipulative. And so we still have to use their manipulatives as we get around until enough of us can live service for service, which is something I'm going into support in Jamaica, but it's so hard. They don't want to do service for service in a time of crisis, in a time of need. They don't want to do anything without their ball and chain of fiat money, even though they saw where the people didn't need money, couldn't use money. Money couldn't help them. And as I say that about money, I want to paint this picture because this too came to me in the meditation. It was like, think about this. The money, the dollars, they're not backed by anything. And I keep saying this. They are promissory notes. That is a promissory note from another source. The promissory note in your land is a promissory note from a higher source. All still going back to England. That's why England has the strongest dollar. Because it is a promissory note. Even in America, it is a promissory note. Your bank, the money is a promissory note from the Federal Reserves. That is a promissory note that is backed from a promissory note in England. Because yes, you still owe them. That's why your dollar is less. You still owe them in taxes, in their taxes. And I say that because I wanted to highlight, as it was showing me, it's paper. It's such a promissory note that it's not backed by gold. It's not backed by diamond. It's not even backed by copper. That's what it was showing me. Yes. And Spirit said, yes, copper. You see it. That means the $100 bill is worth less than the penny. Put that in your thought rotation. Let me say that again. Because a lot of people can't conceive this because you're still trapped by how they use the money. We're still trapped in their story. So we look at it. How? It's $100. It is paper. Promissory note. It's not even backed by copper. Copper. The penny that is made out of copper. You see, and I'm highlighting this because I want you to see how they got us flipped. Look how they flip us and we buy it. And we've been buying it for years. Copper. They've told you that copper is worth 1 cent. They flipped the value for you. They told you that their promissory note of $100 bill is worth more than the copper material that's worth more than the material of that paper. That's backed by another paper. That's backed by another paper. The copper. They have told you that it's worth 1 cent, and we believe it. We believe this illusion. It's time to break that illusion. I know they're not going to like this. But this is the type of videos right here. This is what people need to share. This particular point, even if you could just clip out this particular point. Because many of us need to, and I probably just need to make a short, just speaking specifically about that point right there. How many of us do not recognize that? Your penny is worth more than your $100 bill, but you look at it and you still can't believe it, and you still can't perceive it because they have trained the monkeys well. They have us so programmed that we won't do anything without that paper. I'm saying the foundations have to be trust. Trust is worth more than that promissory note. Trust is trusting the 4 corners of the earth, which means trusting the 4. This is why the root chakra has 4 petals. And the number is 4. Because at the root, at the very earth level, trust the 4 corners of the earth. The 4 corners of the earth doesn't mean that the earth is flat. Not that I'm disputing. The 4 corners are the 4 elements and the 4 directions. North, south, east, west. The 4 directions. The 4 elements: earth, wind, water, fire. This is the guidance. That's the guidance. That's all you need. 4 elements, 4 directions. With that, you will find the abundance in the earth. The creative activity in you will be activated if you allow the receptive activity in you to be activated first by the moon. First receive instructions, and then the sun will follow. Lead with receptivity, receiving these instructions, and then creative action, creative activity will follow. That sun is the will that is following the instructions of the moon. And then once we pass the new moon phase, we will be in the waxing phase, where it is time to, the sun will be now leading the way. It is time to lead with action. And allow the understanding to follow behind the action to gain more understanding. Ashe, and that is the cycle. And that's what I have to share with you. All right. A promise is a comfort to a fool. Yep. And England has the most fools betrothed to it. Ashe. 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 And you know it. Every day, all day. Thank you for your input. The absence of money in the ley lines. Okay, I did get that. Yes. Keep looking into that too. Keep allowing that truth to be, excuse me, keep allowing that truth to resonate with you and unfold the information, because it is speaking to us all. And it's asking us to detach. That's why I'm doing the detox to detach right now. We are detaching from these old concepts. Right? I had to laugh at myself forever hearing, what? I think it says forever having, putting my trust in the monetary system. Yes. We all got to laugh at it. I laugh at it too. I'm like, man, we some fools. Like, look at how people kill themselves for this promissory note, for paper. And it's like, you want to ask them, will you kill somebody for Monopoly money? Because that's what you're doing. Would you rely on Monopoly money to go and help the next man? Because that's what some of you are doing. Oh, I need money to do this. And we just play right into it every time. So when we show them that we're going to build on trust first, we're not going to wait on money. We're going to move with trust first. And when we move the energy. The energy moves first. We move our energy and we charge our energy in a different way. And guess what? The money will still follow. They're going to have to fall in line with our energy system. When you move the energy and you alchemize, the energy has where energy goes. Where attention goes, the energy flows and the result shows. So when you reallocate, when you reallocate your attention, you reallocate your intention and your attentions, then you relocate your energy and the flow of energy. Just like the rivers in Jamaica, they're flowing in different ways. They're saying reallocate your flow of energy. And when you do that, they're going to have to comply. When you have a set of people that have a barter system that is without money, what can you tell them? Everything that they do for each other is going to be with what they barter, with what they create, with their creative energy and how they tithe their time. Time is energy. Time is the higher essence of money. Be mindful of where you place your time and energy. And when we tithe our time in the right places, it's going to highlight for us. It's going to flip the script on the narrative of what is material importance. What is our perspective of how we share the abundance of the materials that we create and co-create. So, faithfully, that was able to shed some light, share some light as I sit here and share this conversation with the sun and moon with you. I haven't done that in a while, but glad to be that conduit of light and energy with you right now. So take what resonates with you, whatever doesn't, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. I stand in the love that lights the truth. And I come full circle back to what the message started on, which is love. Your heartbeat is the rhythm of love. Let it beat with the rhythm of the earth. Feel your umbilical cord connect as you feel all nutrients being supplied to you, everything you need. The supplies are there. If you're willing to apply, you will have supply. Ashe? So with that said, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Each one, always reach one, teach one. I'm seeing 4 for 4 right now. Thank you. Yes, Ashe, Ashe. Thank you, loved ones who are here, light bodies who are here, the chosen of the chosen few. That's 4. That is the foundation. You are the 4 corners of the earth. You are the 4 elements and the 4 directions. Take up your mantle and walk. Those who may be in hard places, take up your bed and walk. Principalities. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love you as you love yourselves to be true and trust. In gratitude, we trust. Peace, love, and light.